Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Open. You know, we're always inviting you to get social with us. That's right, mi gente. We are online, social media. Tweet us at BronxNet TV and tweet me too while you're there at Mina Valentine. Get in the conversation. The Longwood Art Gallery here in the Bronx is actually going to be home to a new culturally enriching art exhibit, Bronx, Africa, a contemporary multidisciplinary exploration of the art, expressions, and influences of African culture, descent, the diaspora, and mixed heritage that call the Bronx home. And here now to tell us more, we welcome the exhibit's curator, Laron Phillips Brooks. That would be Dr. Brooks. The exhibit artist, Ijeoma, I hope I'm saying it right, Iheanacho, I hope I said that right, as well as gallery director Juanita Lanzo and Bronx Council's executive director, Deidre Scott. Hello and welcome, everyone.
Good morning.
Happy New Year to you all. I know the New Year's already a couple of days in, but it's the first show back, so I'm just greeting everyone with that acknowledgement. It's our first Friday open of the year, 2016. So, and as you can see, I'm super enthusiastic, right? So I hope it spreads. Anyway, too much time off, right? And so here we are, we're back, and we're opening up this wonderful exhibit that has history behind it. And I'm wondering if maybe we can open up with you, Dr. Brooks, and just tell us a little bit about what inspired this whole curation.
Well, Bronx, Africa begins with the Bronx Council of the Arts, right? So how can we reach out to communities in the Bronx and specifically show the diversity of African communities, like plural, in the Bronx, because Africa is a continent, but then within that story tell individual human stories about their experience of being people of African descent from the Bronx and dealing with issues of transition, cultural transition, personal identity issues, and generational issues. So it's really an extension of the institution of the Bronx Council of the Arts and trying to introduce America, or even the Bronx, to itself.
Okay, so we're going to come back to you because you're also teaching this here at Lehman. Right. And I just want to throw to Deidre, because this Bronx Council of the Arts, as well as Juanita, and then we'll get to you, the artist, right? Just because I want to know what actually inspired you to make this such a huge exhibit, because there's multi-facets to the way this is being exhibited as well.
Indeed. Largely, it was inspired through observation. I'm a Bronxite. I live not too far from Yankee Stadium. And over the last several years, I have just been noticing change in my neighbors and my neighborhood. And as I travel across the borough, just seeing, you know, that we have a lot of new immigration here. We are one of the boroughs in New York that do get the largest and highest number of immigrants from all over the world. So our borough is rapidly growing more and more diverse. So just through looking at the demographic changes around me, I was like, So I started chipping away at, you know, who's here and how many are here and where they're from. And I also learned that my district, which is in the concourse section of the Bronx, has one of the highest populations of immigrants from across Africa. And that's a real change in the demographics here in the Bronx. And also because BCA, I mean, at the Bronx Council, our goal and our mission is to not only bring art to the people, but to bring people into the arts. Right. As you know, we're a grant-making organization. We do a lot of programs throughout the community, and I'd like to ensure that we're embracing everybody here.
Yeah, that makes up, that makes up the Bronx. And so, Juanita, being in the Longwood Arts Gallery throughout all these years, what excites you about this particular show? And maybe we could show some of the artwork, because that's another topic I'd like to tap into before we run out of time.
That's a treat, actually. So what I think is fascinating, when Deidre started talking to us about the planning, I was really excited because I've seen African artists in the last, 16 years. And I'm thinking, wait, we want to catch up with the demographics of the growing demographics in the borough. Also, it's another, I will say, another community that I want to incorporate into my exhibitions. I love the art. I've been working with the artists, and I have a great experience doing that. And it's something that I'm learning in terms of the broad landscape of the visual arts happening in New York City, too. I mean, in the Bronx and in general through the city. So
Ijeoma,
Ijeoma.
Ijeoma?
Yeah.
Okay. I just want to make
okay.
sure, yes.
I've been dealing with it for 38 years.
As one of the artists,
Yeah.
as one of the artists, what inspires your work to have this African-based premise? Aside from African descent, just in general. I mean, you know, there's the cultural aspect. Like, I haven't seen your work, so I don't know what your topic is or what draws your inspiration. And
it's very funny. My inspiration actually comes from frustration.
Frustration.
The project that I'm currently working on is showing at Bronx Africa is called the reImagining, and it was actually allowing 100 women of African descent to actually speak on the stereotypes that they feel are affecting their everyday lives. So us not being able to see ourselves represented in a positive way in media, general media, actually made me want to pick up my camera and ask 100 women of African descent, tell me about you, tell me about your narrative and yourself. So the images that I'm actually showing at Bronx Africa is from that project, and it's actually allowing literally the community to speak back to the community.
nice. So your images are still?
Yes, I'm a fine art photographer, and that also does a little bit of installation work. So it allows me to actually ask the audience to not only visually interact with the photograph, but also physically interact with it.
Nice,
Thank
nice,
you.
nice. Congratulations. It's nice when your voice is being listened to.
It is. It's very
Amen.
empowering, and the women that are strong enough and capable enough to stand up and have their stories told, the good side and the bad side,
Right.
always impress me. I find the models that are working on the project to be the most impressive women I've ever met in my entire life.
Nice, well said. And so, Doctor Curator, how many? We did that for Mama. You said. How many artists are curated? I'm sorry. How many artists are being exhibited, and how did you select them?
Well, it's around 26 artists, and well, it was an open call, submissions, but you know, we gradually pulled together artists who we think can have represent a broad narrative of what it means to be a person of African descent and primarily from the Bronx, and actually give us an idea about their individual stories so that we can have a broader, you know, pulled together, we have a broader sense of exposure to what they're going through and what it means to be from the Bronx.
And the exhibit officially opens in February.
Right, on our first Bronx Culture Trolley night. And also, I'd like to shamelessly plug, we're having a little press preview the day before on February 2nd. And there will be numerous public programs surrounding the exhibit and times to meet the artists. The show will be up for 4 months. And
Nice,
folks
that's a long run.
Yeah, we wanted to really allow the maximum amount of time, you know, for folks to come down and see the exhibit, for them to hang and have fun with us. And also so that, you know, this is a kind of distracting time of the year, so we want to give the community a good amount of time to come into the gallery. And they can also see more information about the show on our website, bronxarts.org, and share and interact with us on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. So everyone in.
Well, we thank you for being here and
Thank you.
coming to us to share with our
Thank you
viewers
for
first and
having us.
foremost.
Sure.
And thank you for the wonderful work that you're doing. And you are all a sight to be seen. I just saw an image of all of you. And this is our Africa right here in the Bronx. I love it. I love it. Mwah.
All right.
Even if it's Afro-Latino. Viste, Juanita? That's right. All right. Once again, the Bronx Africa exhibit is set to begin on February 3rd and run through May 4th at the Longwood Gallery, located on 450 Grand Concourse in the Bronx. And for more information, you can call 718-518-6728, and you can always go to bronxarts.org. We are taking a break, but don't go anywhere. There is more open after this.